Hey everyone, Master Handray and Crazy Handray here, back once again, this time to test whether the N64 Switch Online controller will work with Smash Bros. Ultimate. Because a lot of people were asking about this from our previous video in which we tested a few other games to not exactly great results. But this time we're going to see if it actually works with the Ultimate game, if you will, and we're hopefully going to have better results. So we've got Smash Ultimate all queued up and ready to go, and as you can see, it's already being recognized as a dual Joy-Con, Pro Controller, or etc. And I think etc. is probably closest in this case. So we're going to go ahead and select it and go into test and see what happens. No, I'm not adjusted anything yet, so we're just going to test the base controls. So right away we can see you can in fact move with the control sticks. We're off to a great start. Primary attacks are on A, and of course you can combine that with a smash of the control stick for a smash attack, or a tilt as you accidentally saw me perform there. In addition, special attacks are on B, so you can easily perform all four of them with a press of the control stick in that direction. Now, you might be wondering, what do the C buttons do? Well, let's find out. Those are shortcuts for the smash attacks, because by default, the C buttons are mapped to what the right stick would perform in whatever game you're playing, which in Smash is the right stick. So if you don't want to perform a smash attack with the control stick in A, you can just use the C buttons instead. So great. So that covers most of the main attacks, but what about grab? Well, that's on R. Look at that. And you just tilt the control stick to throw them in whatever direction you want. And if you want to shield, well, that is on Z, the Z trigger right there. So that maps all the primary controls, which is freaking awesome. And you might have noticed that this actually perfectly mirrors how it worked on Smash Bros. 64 with this very controller, which is great. So I feel right at home with this because this is how I used to play back in the day, with one key exception being jump. Because jump used to be assigned partially to the C buttons, as I recall, where you could tap them to do a quick jump, which is not the case here. However, there are two things about that. One is you can, of course, tilt up on the control stick to still jump, meaning every primary function is once again perfectly viable on a Nintendo 64 controller, and that's actually how you could jump in the original games, as I recalled, and of course is an option in the modern games you can toggle on or off. Now, if you're not a fan of tilt to jump though, then what you may want to consider doing instead is going to the options screen here, and then if you want to turn off tilt to jump, you totally can, just turn it off right there. But then of course you're going to need a jump button. If you want to mimic how it used to work in the original game as well, then you can just change the right stick from smash attack to jump. We're going to go test here, and that will turn all of the C buttons into jump buttons, which is exactly how I love playing. This is my ideal way of playing, and it just feels great. So you no longer have to tilt up to jump. In fact, you no longer can, but turn that off. You can now jump with the C buttons, and everything else is exactly as I would want it, which again, pretty much mirrors the original game. So that is just freaking lovely. Now, something else you may want to consider though, is that you can also grab instead with R is with shield, so being Z and A. If can I better show up? There we go. So that is another way of grabbing, which means that would also free up the right button if you want, the R button, to also be a jump instead if you would prefer that. Meaning you can keep the C buttons on the smash attacks wherever you want to set them to, and then use R for jump instead. So there we go, and that's something that's also perfectly viable, leaving you with that instant Smash Brothers or smash button shortcut. So it is, again, great. Now there's one feature I haven't mentioned yet, and that is taunting, which, as you might expect, is still on D-pad, and that also works fine. So luckily, the most important function is still here. You just have to move your hand a little bit to quickly access it. So there you guys go. Reassurance that the N64 controller, Switch Online controller, works absolutely wonderfully with Smash Ultimate. You can basically customize it to be whatever you want if you're not happy with the default controls. Although for me, these feel freaking perfect, especially now that I mapped, well, if I remap the smash stick to jump, and it is absolutely lovely. So not only is this great for you personally if you just prefer playing this way, but it's also great if you're playing multiplayer and you need some extra controllers, because this is one of the best ones you can find in my opinion. And in fact, I think having Smash on, which I just changed again, on the buttons is actually even more, it actually feels better than having them on the control stick. Oops, my bad. Let me change that back if I can. If I remember where it was, it actually feels better than being on the control stick. This just feels solid. You're not going to accidentally press the wrong one or wrong direction. You can't mess that up. So there you guys go. That is proof that Smash Ultimate works fantastic with the N64 Switch Online controller. And that's pretty much it. But do you have any other games you want me to test it with? I would love to check out more games. So let me know in the comments below what games you want me to try this controller with to see if it works well or not. Because unfortunately, you cannot remap this controller in the Switch OS. Unfortunately, it locks it to how it works currently, so it will work, so it depends on a very much game-by-game basis. So let me know in the comments below what games you want me to test next, and we'll get right on it. So with that, thanks for watching, and of course stay tuned to Game Explain for more on the N64 Switch Online controller and everything else Nintendo as well. We'll catch you later. Bye everyone!